We are here at Animal Kingdom and we are going to ride Kilimanjaro safaris to see what kinds of animals they have. So let's go check out the varieties of animals they have. Hi, my name is Teddy. I live in Davenport, Florida with my Beagle family. They are a great bunch of people and they love me very, very much. They enjoy traveling, having fun, and they especially enjoy Walt Disney World. They can't always take me on their adventures, and I must stay behind and take care of the house. Make sure the couch is safe, and do some online trading. Then make sure I'm not lonely. Alexa entertains me.
I will keep Teddy happy. Have fun, guys.
I keep the birds Kiwi and Keytree out of trouble, and Turkey the turtle is always here to listen to me when I need to unload. It's not a bad life, but I wish I could see what they do when they go out. So I send the big hairy guy on adventures with some other smaller cute people and have them record the adventures so I may see what they are up to. Every now and then they run into some other nice people who want to say hi to me as well. I really enjoy meeting new folks. So welcome to my channel. Let's see what my people have in store for us today and maybe you will be featured on.
Hi Teddy, I hope you're having a great day.
Oh, we're gonna do that. We're going to the pro today. Yeah. Oh, let me You ready, Patricio?
Yeah?
Slide all the way to the left. Security personal belongings.
Seat feels hard and soft at the same time.
Alright, friends on the right hand side, please watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs, and the doors will be closing.
Like some animals.
You're not there.
Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. Jumbo once again, folks. My name is Casey and I'm going to be your safari driver for this 2-week expedition. I hope somebody told you that it's going to be 2 weeks. Now just as a friendly reminder, please keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times and remain seated. Hopefully we'll see a lot of incredible animals out there, but if you need a little bit of extra help identifying them, right above you is a very handy dandy safari guide. We might not be able to stop for every animal that we see, but we will stop for as many as possible. I would recommend getting your cameras ready and on a sports setting. It's really easy out here to get a beautiful album of blurry trees. And right up here we're coming into the Ituri Forest. which is home to a lot of animals that have adapted to blend in among the trees and the bushes and thrive in this forest. And one of those animals is coming up here on the right. That is an okapi. Now, okapis may look like they are related to zebras based off of that stripe pattern, but actually they're more closely related to giraffes. Both a giraffe and an okapi share a prehensile tongue, which they use to eat from tall trees.
Prehensile tongue? I want a prehensile
And right up
tongue.
here we're coming up to a watering hole. This is a very popular spot for animals gathering to get a drink of water out in these very hot, very dry conditions. So let's see if we can spot anything across these hills. Alright, gotta look into the back potentially. I don't know if I see anything on the hills either. They must have gotten some water earlier. Let's take a look, see. Doesn't look like I see anything right away, but that is alright. Actually, what I do see coming up ahead on the right is a greater kudu. A greater kudu may look like a deer, but it in fact is an antelope. It's in fact one of the bigger species of antelope. Males and females are identifiable by whether or not they have horns. Females do not have horns, so that is a little herd of kudu, greater female kudu. Alright, let's see if there's anything. I think up on the left back there. Whoa! We're getting a little close to the tree there. Up on the hill, I think I saw a rhino behind, and I was kind of a little bit distracted by that, but we are all good now. Alright. Right up here, we're going to be leaving the Safi forest and entering the Safi River. The Safi River is home to a lot of animals that thrive by the water. I think I've heard that there might be some Nile hippos up in the area. They like to hide underneath the water when it does get hot like this so that they can keep cool. So we need to be looking out for what might be underneath the surface. I'm just going to come across this bend right here up to this side of the river and see if there's anything. Oh! Down on the islands out on the right are some pink-back pelicans. Pink-back pelicans get that name from the pinkish color that appears during mating season. It's not actually a super bright pink color, but it is visible if you can get a good look at their backs up there. Males and females will actually both brood on the eggs for about 30-ish days or so. Their wingspans can also grow to about 7 to 9 feet long, which for a little bit of a visual reference, right above you, the canopy is about 9 feet. And it looks like underneath the surface here are some Nile hippos. Nile hippos are primarily nocturnal, so when it is nighttime they will come out of the water and eat the grass along the riverbanks. Their tusks can grow up to 18 inches long and often aid them in protection. Hippos actually do have the ability to swim as well. The reason I asked to keep an eye out under the surface of the water is because they like to walk along the bottom of the river. Alright, let's come across this bend and see if there is anything down there. Not that I can spot right away. That is alright. Oh, actually, up on the banks over here on the left are some Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles are the biggest species of crocodile in Africa. They can grow up to 16 feet long and weigh 500 pounds. Now I know those jaws look a little bit intimidating, but they actually have incredible control over them. The males and females will both house their eggs inside of those mouths, and when it's time for the little ones to hatch, they'll gently roll the eggs across their tongue to coax the little ones to come out into the world. I absolutely love the Nile crocodiles. And as we are leaving the Safi River, we're going to be coming up into the Savannah up here in just a second. It's a lot more dry out here with a lot of open space. Most of the animals have adapted to thrive in these open conditions. A lot of them are migrating animals and have incredible features to survive. One such creature over here on the right is the baobab tree. A baobab tree can hold gallons of water inside of its trunk, and for 9 months out of the year it can go completely leafless. This helps them conserve water during these dry seasons. Right up here we're going to be coming up to an amazing view of the Savannah. Let's see if we can spot any animals out here. They'll often be on both sides of the vehicle, so we gotta keep our eyes peeled. Let's see. Might be some coming up around this bend. We'll just take a quick, slow look. Is there anything back
This would
there?
be fun if they let you drive
Does
this
not
one,
look at it. That is alright.
Remember, like there's a
I think I might have seen some giraffe up in the distance, but I bet we could get a closer look at them in just a moment. Another structure I do see in the meantime, those big, tall orange pillars are termite mounds. Termite mounds are as hard as concrete. Although they are solid as a rock, they're actually incredibly porous inside of them. This porousness creates almost like an air conditioning system for the termites that live inside. They are a very favorite scratching post for creatures like elephants. Looks like I see some dens up ahead. We'll just take a look and see if we can spot any animals. Out over here. I'm just going to try and get a closer look up here. We want to tiptoe up. And it looks like up on the hill I can see sleeping over there is an African painted dog. You might be able to see some back there. African painted dogs' coats are completely unique to each other. In their packs, they're able to identify each other using their coats. All the way in the back, we got a whole bunch of animals out here. We got some sable antelope. They are named after the brownish color of their fur. We also have some wildebeest, which are one of the most densely packed migrating animals in the entire world, second only to humans. And all the way in the back, you might be able to see grazing is a common eland. Now, one of my favorite things about the common eland is that the males during mating season will use those long horns of theirs in order to pick up grass, flowers, dead bushes, anything that they like, it can find, and wear them almost as like a little bit of a flower crown in order to impress the ladies. Another fun fact about the wildebeest is that herds of 1.5 million of them can travel 500 to 1,000 miles in a single year. Looks like we got a giraffe that's running up ahead. Now we can't get too close to the animals. We do want to be respectful of their space. And as these are out actually in the sun, you might be able to spot back there is a zebra. There are a bunch of different kinds of zebras. Some have thinner stripes, some have thinner stripes, some have thicker stripes. That one looks like it might be somewhere in the middle. As a Hartman mountain zebra. They're also identifiable by the fact they have white bellies and thicker stripes. A group of zebras is actually called a dazzle. This is because when they are running along together, trying to get away from
They're
predators,
called the dazzle bugs.
their stripes will sort of blend together and create almost a dazzling effect to confuse predators. And it looks like right up here we're coming up to a tower of giraffes. We're just gonna let this guy cross.
Oh, giraffe jam.
Are you gonna cross the road there, friend? There we go. Thank you so much, friend.
He's like, nah, I'll stay here.
Up here on the right is the giraffe. These are actually Maasai giraffes. If you take a good look at those spot patterns, you can see they're a little bit more like puzzle pieces. They're a little bit leaf-shaped, which is a very common identifiable feature of the Maasai giraffe. Giraffes can grow up to 18 to 20 feet long and eat for 18 to 20 hours in a day. You can watch over here on the left using that prehensile tongue to reach up to the highest parts of the trees in order to get some food. Their tongues are coated with a thick layer of saliva, which helps protect their tongues from twigs and leaves that might hurt their tongues. Oh, here's another giraffe all the way over here. Absolutely beautiful. I love the giraffe. And right up here, it looks like we're coming up into elephant country. There's a lot of debris, a lot of fallen trees. They are incredibly powerful creatures, where they have been by how much of the land has been destroyed. Let's take a look up here and see if we can spot any of the elephants. And in fact, we can. Up on the right, on that hill back there, is an African elephant. Now, of course, we are in Africa Africa, so yes, it would be an African elephant. But another way to identify them as the species is by the shape of their ears. It's roughly the shape of the continent of Africa. Those trunks are incredibly amazing. They have more muscles in them than our entire bodies. They can use that trunk to do a whole lot of different things. They can use it to smell. You can use it as like an extra arm to grab branches and trees and to put food inside of their mouths. And they can use it to drink water. On hot days like this, an elephant will also use its trunk to throw dirt and sand upon its back in order to act as like a natural sunblock. Elephants have incredibly sensitive skin. I think there might be a watering hole that's coming up ahead as well, so we'll see if we can spot any more elephants there. Elephants are typically very social creatures. The females will stay in herds together as they raise the kids, and the males will often go off and form loose-ish bachelor herds. There's an elephant back there as well. Let's see what we're going to be finding up ahead. Just go ahead and take this bend. A lot of beautiful trees if you want to fill your album. It looks like right up here actually we're coming up to some red clay pits. On the right you might be able to spot are some tusk marks. Just like how we sometimes have to take vitamin supplements for our diet, the elephants will come up here and they will eat from the red clay in order to get those extra vitamins inside of their diets. Now, like I mentioned a little bit, elephants are very social, very migratory animals. Back in Africa, herds of them have a natural instinct, of course, to go across the land. However, sometimes there are farmlands where they are going. They will sometimes trample them and eat from the crops, but this is kind of an issue for the farmers all the way out there. However, we have come up with a fantastic way working with the farmers in order to protect the lives of the elephants. You see, elephants also have an incredibly sophisticated communication system. And one sound that they have is for bees. Once they see the bee, they will alert the entire herd that there is a bee, and they will run away from the bee as fast as possible. So what farmers have been able to do with a little bit of our help is come up with these beehive fences. The beehive fences protect the farmlands from the elephants because once they see that bee, they will just stay away as far as possible. And the farmers get a little bit of extra money from the honey and they help with the crops. It's really a win-win for everybody. Out on the left, you might have been able to spot those longhorn cattle. Those are Ankole cattle. Another name for the Ankole cattle is the Watutsi cattle, which is the name of the very first tribe to domesticate them. Their horns can grow up to 5 to 6 feet long from tip to tip. Looks like coming up on the left here we can see some greater flamingos. These flamingos are one of the biggest species of flamingo in the world. And they are actually not born with that pink color. They get that color from the brine shrimp that they eat and as they mature. These are another group of animals that are incredibly social. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. Get some really good looks of flamingos over here. I think they're so pretty. And it looks like right up here we're coming into rhino country. I thought I saw maybe one earlier, but hopefully we'll get a good look at them on this particular path. Rhinos have incredibly sensitive ears, so we want to keep our voices down and our eyes peeled. And it looks like, in fact, on the left, yes, this is the left side. On the left over here are some white rhinos. White rhinos are named after the shape of their mouths. If you take a good look up here, you can see they're a little bit wider in their lip shape. The black rhinos have pointed lips. There's a whole herd of them coming out here. Now the Afrikaans word for wide is actually vite, which is not white, but it does kind of sound like that. We were working a lot on conservation projects to protect the white rhinos. For a long time, there were a lot of myths and legends about the fact that those horns that they have medicinal properties to them. However, through modern science, we've actually been able to prove that this is not the case. A rhino's horn is made after keratin, which is the exact same stuff our fingernails are made of. So we're hoping, in an effort to help educate people to stop butchering these animals, we can help save their lives. Let's see. Oh yeah, up on the hill on the left, all the way back under the shade you might be able to spot is a cheetah. Now you may already know that a cheetah can run up to 60 miles per hour. However, they can really only maintain that speed for a few seconds at a time. As they are running, they will use their tail as kind of a natural counterbalance to help them with agility. They are absolutely incredible hunters. Despite the fact that they are extremely large, they are actually not classified as big cats. They are more closely related to house cats, using chirps and meows to communicate with each other. And it looks like actually up on the hill right here I can see an African lion. Speaking of big cats. Now an African lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles away, and they can sleep for about 18 to 20 hours a day. Sometimes I wish I could sleep for about 18 to 20 hours a day. That sounds like a good time. Now, a group of lions is called a pride. Oftentimes, the females will do a majority of the hunting. However, the males can hunt with the females. However, if there are any cubs that they have in the pride, then the males will typically stay behind to protect the little ones from harm. This is incredibly crucial to the survival of the pride. They like to hang out over here on the Kopi rocks as well. These are naturally forming rock structures that jut out across the savannah. I can see a lioness up on the left. And they are a very favorite hangout spot of the lions. Alright, we're going to be entering up into this clearing here. You can see some burrows up ahead, and there's a particular animal that I can think of that really likes to live in burrows, so we'll keep an eye out and see if we can spot any of them. Let's see, if you see any fuzzy moving rocks, just let me know. Let's take a look. The fuzzy looking rocks are warthogs. They use their tusks and their shovel-shaped mouths in order to dig for burrows. However, if they find an empty burrow somewhere else, they will take it up as their home. Right up here, we're coming up to some ostriches. Now usually the males will have black feathers and the females will typically have grayish feathers. Looks like they're just out in the middle of the road here.
Ostrich traffic.
We'll just let this pass real quick. Alright. Alright, now contrary to popular belief, ostriches actually do not bury their heads in the sand. Instead, when they feel threatened, they will actually lower their bodies to the ground in order to protect themselves. Despite the fact that they are birds, they do not have the ability to fly. Instead, they use those wings to help with agility and stability as they're running across. You might be able to spot out there on the right as well as, I think we kind of passed it, but those were some ostrich eggs. Being one of the biggest birds kind of makes sense that they have one of the biggest eggs in the world. They can weigh up to 3 pounds and contain the equivalent of 24 chicken eggs. We're just going to cross this bridge up here. Perfect. Alright. Right up here, we're coming up to the Magadi Glen where the Warden's post is located. I was able to talk a little bit about some of the conservation projects that we have going on, and this is our favorite place to sort of convene on those and go ahead and get them set up. Doesn't look like the Warden is home right now, but I can see some of their most recent project, the Nigerian dwarf goats. As we pass this hill, you might be able to spot the goats behind the building over here. Here they are. Now, these goats are adults. That is about as big as they will get. Their milk is incredibly sweet and highly prized across the savannah. Alright. And with that, we have come to the end of our 2-week safari adventure. Those weeks just flew on by. We saw a lot of amazing animals out there. We saw a lot of the giraffes, we saw the hippos, and we saw some not crocodiles, and we saw the lions, which was so cool. And we were able to talk about the conservation projects with the bee and the elephants project, and how we're helping educate people about the rhinos. And it might seem like such a big world and that there's so little that we can do, but actually there's quite a lot that we can do to help these animals. And just like with the rhinos, education is a huge part of helping conserve the homes of these animals and protecting their lives. Another ecosystem I'm incredibly passionate about actually is the ocean, which I know we weren't able to see on our safari adventure, which makes me very sad, but that is okay. But the reefs out in the ocean are home to hundreds of thousands of millions of different kinds of creatures that rely on the reefs for their homes. And there's a lot of little things that we can do to help them all the way out there. Doing something as small as recycling or using a reusable water bottle can go a long way to helping these animals.
Hey Teddy, we just got off the ride. We saw tons of animals. My favorite part on the ride was when we got to see the hippos and crocodiles. Another thing that I liked was the way how happy our cast member was on our truck. So we'll meet you back at the house, Teddy.